Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts channel. Today's video, I got some more information on Kingdom Hearts 4 and quite possibly the mobile game Missing Link. And this time it was posted on KHInsider.com. If you haven't seen the last video where it was posted on KH13.com, the link of that will be under the description down below. Not the video, just the website itself. But I'll also leave you guys and girls a link of this info as well. And you're probably wondering, why am I doing this, reading this interview again? Well, that's because there is some new info that I'm not aware of. So first off, one of the interviewers from Famitsu congratulates Nomura on the 20th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts series, and Nomura thanks the person. And the interviewer says, how does it feel looking back on these past 20 years? When I look back, and this is what Nomura said, when I look back, I realize how much time has passed, though it certainly doesn't feel that way as of late. Then it says, it's been 3 years since Kingdom Hearts 3 released. That's right. But during those 3 years, we've wrapped up Kingdom Hearts Union Cross and released Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, Melody of Memory, and the cloud versions on Nintendo Switch, so time seemed to pass in the blink of an eye. So, here's the next thing. The interviewer says. This series has been going on for 20 years, but there are many young fans as well. It really hit me when I saw the attendees at the 20th anniversary event. Yes, that's right, and this is what Nomura says. I feel that Kingdom Hearts has many fans who are relatively young. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I think the appearance of Disney properties aroused their interests. That is interesting. That is definitely interesting. Okay, there were a lot of valuable materials exhibited at the venue. You had a message posted on Sora's statue, but there was a letter X on the third line from the bottom. What does it mean? And this is like the interesting info, because everyone is wondering about this X symbol, which may seem like a letter, but it's a symbol of something, and it has some sort of meaning. And this is what Nomura says. It contains a hidden message, and the X is a clue. I've seen people discussing it on social media, but no one seems to have arrived at the answer yet. And this one right here is all text in Japanese, so I cannot read it unless there's a translator. So let's move on. I did think there was something rather peculiar about the phrasing of that message with the X line breaks. There must be a trick to it. And before I continue, I'm going to have to drink my water so that my throat will not get sore. I usually drink tea to make sure it doesn't get sore, but, you know. But anyways, here's what Nomura said. It was very difficult to come up with Rai Smile. I don't know if that's how you pronounce this word. I'm very not good at pronouncing words, which is why I look at videos of pronunciations, so that I will learn how to pronounce certain words that I cannot pronounce. I wanted to convey, I don't think that's how you pronounce it, a message through my thoughts on the 20th anniversary in the text as you see. I had to make it look a little unnatural so that people would discover the mystery and then plant the hidden message on top of that. And the interviewer's like, I'll try to decipher it myself later. And this person laughs. It's pretty hard, isn't it? None of our staff could figure it out either. And Nomura laughs. Okay, now here's something a little bit interesting. I was surprised by the faithful recreation of the area surrounding Shibuya, and I think I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, Hikari, the venue in which the event took place. In the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, did you purposefully decide to hold the event there? And Nomura says, I wanted to do it at Shibuya Hikari, if possible. Shibuya is an easily recognizable landmark, and you can recreate the real world more realistically in a game if you're familiar with the setting. And then here's the interesting question, and it's in everyone's mind, which I think it is. Is Shibuya part of the world of Quadratum, excuse me? And he says, yes, it is. So I wonder if Shibuya is a name of a part of the city from Quadratum, or is it something that I'm confused about? Because in the last video, well, technically in the last message, there was like something to do with like Shibuya is not Quadratum, but I'm assuming that Shibuya is technically part of the world of Quadratum. So I'm assuming that Shibuya is a city. It's a city name. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just coming up with what I think it could be. But the bottom line is this. It's quite interesting to know that Shibuya is technically part of the world of Quadratum and not like, let's just say Shibuya is part of the world of Quadratum and not actually Quadratum itself. It's kind of confusing. But I will definitely explain that later once we get to that. But let's read the rest of this post here. While we're on that topic, is there any possibility of a reunion with the characters from The World Ends With You who appeared in Kingdom Hearts 3D, otherwise known as Dream Drop Distance? And this interviewer, is referring to Neku and many other characters. Nomura says, strictly speaking, it is a different world from the Shibuya of The World Ends With You. Some fans believe there is a connection to TWEWY and Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, but there's really no such thing. So there's no connection from the Shibuya of The World Ends With You. I'm trying to put it together and it's kind of confusing to me because I thought that what Nomura meant is like the Shibuya that people know from The World Ends With You is part of the world of Quadratum, which I'm assuming it's a city, but Shibuya is not, it's not actually like a world separated or something along these lines. This is kind of confusing to me because it's like, wait a minute, something is a bit off. It's like, so Shibuya is part of the world of Quadratum, but there is like no connection. There is no correction. No, let me start over because I'm starting to get too into this like info situation. There is no connection about the Shibuya of the World Ends With You game. And some fans believe that there's a connection between that game and the Final Fantasy Origins Stranger of Paradise. But according to Nomura, there's really no such thing. So I wonder if this means that this is a different Shibuya in Quadratum, or is it actually the same? And by that I meant the one that is in The World Ends With You. Only time will tell, but it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to understand these notes here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta get some more water. So the next question is this. Is the room where Sora wakes up also in Shibuya? And the more answer, that is located in Ninami Aoyama. And I wonder if it's the name of the hotel, apartment, or the city in Quadratum. Who knows? But anyways, a great location. So you even established that? Yes, we've also specified the room layout. That's interesting. I don't know how that's how you pronounce this word, but I'm just going to move along. The furniture and whatnot haven't been decided yet, so the interior will be undergoing some changes. Which, by the way, if you watch the trailer, it is like an early version of the apartment or location and whatnot. Um, so it's like still in development and probably could change uh, depending on what's going to happen or what they decide and stuff. That room will serve as the base of the early part of the game. I wonder what that means. So the next question is this. What kind of world is Quadratum? In Melody of Memory, it was described as the other side of our world. Is this a no, I almost said brand new. It is brand new, but technically the text says, is this a new world not doesn't. What's wrong with me? Let me start over. Is this a new world that does not belong to the realm of light, realm of darkness, or realm between? And the more says that one interpretation. That's one interpretation. I wonder if that is a compliment. I don't know. I do not know. But here's the next thing that the interviewer said. In the trailer's narration, excuse me. In the trailer's narration, Quadratum was described as a world full of life, but for you, I'm starting to getting, oh my goodness. This information is starting to get me to not read well. Let's try this again. Right after I drink my water. In the trailer's narration, Quadratum was described as a world full of life, but for you and I, it's similar to an afterworld, I suppose. What does this mean? Of course, I haven't thought about that, But I was wondering what that means too. And this is what Nomura says. It means that perception, percep, perception changes depending on your viewpoint. The master of masters says something along those lines in Union Cross. From Sora's point of view, Quadratum is a world of the other side of his own world and reality, a fictional world. However, from the point of view of the inhabitants of Quadratum, their world is the real one, and the place Sora and his friends hailed from is the other side, the fictional world. This time, I think the theme will be something akin to the contrast between people from different positions. So in the last video, I didn't understand what it means, like um, a fictional world of where Sora lives and all that kind of stuff. So what he's saying that the world in that is like Quadratum is the real world, while the ones that Sora and his friends lived on the other side is a fictional world, which I'm assuming it features a lot of Disney characters and fairy tales. And even though it makes sense because of like fairies, princesses, and other stuff, but it makes me wonder of something that I just don't understand. If his friends is on the other side, and if Riku is trying to get to Quadratum, how is he going to get there? That's something that I would like to know. But regardless of that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the next question. I see the narrator is Strelitzia, and she's also from Sora's side, so that's why she says for us, right? That's correct. It's a simple question, but it's proven its point. I've been told that the male narrator is the same person who voiced over the footage of Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. Yes, it's the same character being played by the same person. The character is someone who has already appeared in the series, but this is the first time they've been voiced. Oh, so this is a character that has been appeared in the series. However, this will be the first time that we hear their voice, even though it's in Japanese. We won't get the English translation until many months or years from now, which I'm just assuming, but I'm not sure yet. Now, here's the question that I am curious about. The place where Donald and Goofy are is the original world, right? What would a realistic Sora look like in the original world? And No More said, Donald and Goofy are looking for clues to Sora in the original world. Everything you saw in the trailer before the title appeared is from Quadratum, and Sora will look realistic there. But if he returns to the original world, then the shader, then the it's not shattered, or the shader will make him look like Donald and Goofy. I wonder what that means. Will he become a animal form, like, for example, a lion? Because there are some original drawing content that Sora was supposed to be like half human, half lion character. but they change their minds and make him human, which I think I'll probably get to that video for another time. But as of right now, it's interesting to hear that yes, Donald and Goofy are looking for clues to Sora in the original world. And Sora will look realistic in Quadratum, but if he returns to the original world, then he will look like Donald and Goofy. And I don't know if it means like what he looks like before KH4, or if it's some sort of like an animal form. I have no clue. That's the problem. Either way, we're just going to have to wait until there's like, more informations and more trailers and all that kind of stuff that has something to do with Kingdom Hearts 4. There's a lot of reading going on right now, so let's go ahead and move on. The battle scenes show Keyblade transformations and free running, giving the impression that this is an evolution of Kingdom Hearts 3. Yes, that's right. In the video, you can also see button icons that appear when an enemy punches you. You can think of that like the reaction commands we had in Kingdom Hearts 2. So it looks like these reaction commands and stuff is coming back. And this is what Nomura says right here. Let's see what else. Oh, so it's a command that appears briefly under certain circumstances, and if successfully executed, triggers a special action. The reason it appears with a black circle is because we haven't announced the platforms yet. And I wonder if it means that they haven't revealed the platform system. So the interviewer says, I see. Then Nomura says, after KH3 released, we saw quite a few people asking for reaction commands to return, so we brought them back. And I'm assuming they brought it back in KH4. And of course, if you've seen the last video, the word build is probably going to be in the game. The word build is at the bottom of the command window on the lower left. What does it refer to? The battle concept this time around is scrap and build, with build being the command that represents it. And eventually eventually Nomura says that he can't give you the details yet, but destruction and reconfiguration are key. Please wait for more information. Because the person asks, what does scrap and build? What is that exactly? Okay, so the interviewer says that Kingdom Hearts 4 lies in the Lost Master arc. But to what saga does Kingdom Hearts Missing Link belong to? Nomura says, the Kingdom Hearts series does not solely include the Dark Seeker arc up to Kingdom Hearts 3 and the Lost Master arc from Kingdom Hearts 4. There is also the X series that includes Kingdom Hearts Key, Union Cross, and Dark Road. Kingdom Hearts Missing Link is a work that fills in the blank period and bridges them together. So if you haven't heard the last video about 10 things that you should know about this mobile game, it is like the beginning after the end of Union Cross, and it ends like before Dark Road ever happened or started. We see Brain in the trailer for KHML. Is he the main character? No, the main character will be the player themselves. It's a create an avatar game, like Unchained Key, which I figured it would be because I did mention on the last video when I discuss about how I never expected a new mobile game. Excuse me. Okay, next question. The game seemed quite challenging, with a focus on action-packed battles that can be enjoyed in multiplayer, as well as the addition of location-based game elements utilizing AR technology. So they're talking about the missing link. You say that you can move around without actually leaving the house. Does you mean, or should I say, does that mean the character is the one who can do the moving? Yes, there's a street view in Google Maps, isn't there? You just tap on the place you want to see and it'll take you there. I imagine KHNL to be just like that. I am anxious to play this game. Excuse me, even though I'm not much of a Pokemon Go type of gamer. Okay, so the next question is, so suppose I want to go to Okinawa on foot. You certainly could, but it take quite a bit of time to get there. By using points, you can teleport immediately to the place you want to go. I wonder if we use points just to get to a certain location. So if you don't want to spend the points, you can go out and walk around yourself. It's up to the player. The more said, correct. This is starting to get if this is starting to get interesting. Excuse me. Now we're getting a little bit of details of missing link. Oh, excuse me. In the field is linked to the real world. Does that mean we won't see any Disney worlds in the game? That's everybody's biggest question because Kingdom Hearts is a crossover between Square, which contains Final Fantasy games and other games, and of course Disney, which features like Sleeping Beauty, Peter Pan, and many other your favorite Disney classic movies. And here's what Nomura said. We're experimenting with a variety of things, but depending on the terminaling, is it terminaling or determining on depending on the timing, excuse me, the terrain and atmosphere will be potentially based on Disney World's motifs. In the early stages of development, we covered the entire map with all sorts of motifs as though it were a skin. But it seemed like overkill, so we're trying to balance things out. Interesting. And this is the last and final question. And it said, and the interviewers asked, collecting figure-like pieces sounds pretty interesting, and multi-action battles seem like they'll be fun. And the more says, I'm trying to do something sharp that I can't do in the main story. Please look forward to the closed beta test scheduled for this fall, which is confirmed that it's coming this fall this year. And it's uncertain whether if it's going to be in September, October, or November. Either way, I'll keep you updated. More information about Missing Link right here, only on the Queendom Hearts channel. And also, an expanded version of the interview will be published in the May 12th through May 19th issue of Weekly Feminist. I forgot how to pronounce this word. I think I pronounced it correctly before, but I forgot. On sale April 28th. But regardless of that, ladies and gentlemen, the link of this will be underneath the description down below if you want to read it yourself. But as always, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe. Turn on these notifications so you won't miss a single upload. And I'll see you all in the next video. And just remember one thing. May your hearts be your guiding key.